Got it. Got it.
Got him.
Got it. Alrighty, y'all. Peace and greetings, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey here in Morocco at northwest of Mexham, and I am here with my magnificent bros, and they are
Islam. Namaste, Brother Corey Bey. Peace and love, everybody. Peace and love.
President.
Islam. Tamari Bey, how are you? How art thou? How are you today, on this day? The holy day, it's beautiful today. Yes. Ciertamente.
Yo.
I gotta go where I gotta go. Just give me a second.
Indeed. Islam. All righty.
Brother Shanalim Hill. Peace to all.
Yeah, Brother Benjamin. Peace.
Yeah. Brother who? Brother who are you? Brother who?
Brother what?
All right.
Brother
Who are you?
What?
Brother who? Yeah,
Brother Benjamin Bey.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm just Brother Benjamin Bey, you know what I'm saying? Like that brother deep. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Whoa! It's like, no, that's my bro. You know what I'm saying? No, anyway, it's all in good faith, man. Just having the ball. Brother Jag, did we go? Okay, I'm trying to think.
I had to arrange myself, you know what I mean?
Did I hit the live button too early, bro?
No, it's good. I was just playing my guitar. It's fine. You know, I was in my
playing the guitar while we was coming in, man.
No, it's cool. I was in my zone, man. I was in my zone. Yeah.
It's been perfect for impromptu improv, man. He's
got to have the signature mug and the chalkboard behind him.
Yeah. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not sure about, you know how I am about my music, it's like that's very, that's in the treasure, so to speak, you have to wait for those sort of things.
Very, very therapeutic, the music.
Islam, word.
Of course. So look, y'all already know. Guys, this is Impromptu Improv. This is an AstroCivics roundtable. We're just going to talk about anything. And Brother Benjamin is actually going to kick it off. You know what I'm saying? It can be just anything at random. We're just going to have a conversation. We haven't really talked about anything except just regular old astrology stuff that we normally do and have conversations. So this is just basically what we're doing. Having an astrology conversation. Well, we're talking about anything that's going on right now, but referring to it astrologically. So while you guys are chatting, starting it off, and until it gets to me, I'm going to be sharing this out, just so see who can come and check it out or whatever while we're live. We can check it later. Either way. So anyhow, I already know this is going to be fun. This is going to be hot. So whoever's catching it now live, like you guys are in for a treat. I already know it. This is the post-lunar eclipse presentation. All righty, as promised. Some of you guys like, you said this 12 noon to 12. Man, let me tell you, man. The Mufti had held up President Bey. You see what I'm saying? So you see he's fixing his locks right now, right? He's fixing his crown as we're speaking. So President Bey was like, had to tell the Mufti, hey, man, you hold me up. So dude that, has the Mufti limo, was late on the get. I'm being facetious. It was just funny that way because that's how we joke and play around because it's really, really that fun. So and then we had I had a bowl of sidereals before getting on here, and it was galactically delicious, and you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I figured I was eating some sidereals while watching Horary Heroes. You see what I'm saying? There's a whole culture in the future that your children are about to. Y'all think I'm joking. That seed's being planted. You already. So anyway, I'm gonna yield the floor, Brother Benjamin Bey. Islam.
All right. So I looked up something that was like astrology time. So one was like, how does astrology help people? And I know it seems bad money, but I think as we joke and throw jokes, it's like, man, but like, how does that help me, bro? Like, how does knowing all this stuff? I'm just picturing how our people would, ask that question. So it's like, how does astrology help people? And we are people, and I'm one of the people. So I guess I'll start with how using a planet. So in the seventh house. And so that would kind of make me a loner, but I only have value in the relationship. So if I kick it with you or something like that, most likely I'm going to hold you to everything that you say. And if you don't, kind of like Saturn, when it comes around again, it won't be too pretty, or I will do the whole Michael Jackson when he spent it to the dust thing and, peaced out, without like a remember you probably be looking for me somewhere like, something like that. But, moving forward from that, my Saturn is in Aquarius. So that's like the group. So right now, doing what that planet is doing, I'm relating to my brothers within the group. So that's what I call the group. And we are giving I'll say law, giving truths, things like that, setting structure, things of that nature. And there's only like a few of us, and things like that. So it's like a small but yet concentrated thing. So that's how I would say astrology helped me as in the people, and it can help you as well if I'm not like roaming anymore. Like astrology helped me stop from like roaming, and I was subconsciously building my life, but I didn't know I was doing it according to the planet. So like you're living your life right now, but you don't know you're really influenced subconsciously. So like me, for example, I have like a quote unquote home gym. Well, I do have a home gym, but I just didn't want to go to the gym anymore. And then like the whole, stuff that's going on with the health stuff. So I'll just do it at the crib. So I'm just collecting things in my home. And I am a Leo rising, and I have Virgo on the second house. So that deals with my possessions, health, things of that nature. So I'm very critical about, how I not look, but how I feel. And, what I'm saying? And I want to always be, what I'm saying, my tip top shape mentally and physically. What I'm saying? What's your tank, what I'm saying? You want to come make sure your tank has like all details. It's huge, but roller things got to make it work. Your little roller shoulders, things like that. So that's how I look at it. So, what I'm saying, things in health and stuff like that, as far as like eating and making things in my home instead of going out. What I'm saying? I'll organize meals and set that up according to how my planners are set up. So with Leo rising, that's like controlled by the sun. So I'm going to need to get a bit of vitamin D or something citrus. Not like a gang of that stuff, but that needs to be my top priority, because the heart is my top priority in my vessel. And considering on what, rising you have, that could be something you could look at as well, and not just like, oh, my spine hurt, my back hurt, what I'm saying, just that hurt, what I'm saying, just a little imbalance that you got to balance out. I'm not saying to be perfect, but, it's something you can just attend to, kind of like gas in the car. It ain't that like $10, $12 ain't gonna last forever. So one orange ain't gonna help me. What I'm saying? So I gotta incorporate that into my diet. So I would say that's how astrology would help me on my day to day. I yield if brothers want to share that.
I got a question for Brother Benjamin.
What's up?
With the Venus retrograde approaching, do you have a bunker of snacks stashed?
No. My customer got me some hash brown, a pack. There's like 8 in there. So I was saying, I'm good on that. But no doubt I may, yeah.
You good on what? What was it?
Some hash browns. Like I love like browns. But the shredded, once again, I ain't gonna slide down the Waffle House, some
Indeed. I dig that. I'm with you. You're hilarious, man.
You just gotta have those.
Brother Sean, man, you something else, yo. I promise you.
That's that comedy degree.
Cashews in my my jacket, right? My jeans jacket. So yeah, I did have a pack of cashews. So
it manifested in some way, yes.
Yeah,
okay, Islam. That's interesting.
Yeah,
absolutely. Go ahead, guys. Come on, man. I'm sitting here. I'm doing the Facebook sharing.
See how astrology is shaped. I know me and Brother Benjamin, he was talking about how his Saturn return was he was approaching that, and I was like, yo, what I'm saying, I just went through that December 24th. I'm like, man, it's just because I have Saturn in Aquarius in the 11th, And I'm like, the Saturn return, and then starting, this so-called year, I've been linked up with the bros. So it's like, the restrictions of the social clubs, and all that has kind of been broken as I stepped into the astro adulthood, as they say. Yeah. And just when you like look to see why you do things, you start to learn astrology. It's really like you've literally been just being an actor in a movie you ain't known about. It's like somebody filming you, you don't even know it, and you're just doing stuff.
Not to be cliche, but it's really like ding or something like that. When that dude is just like, everybody seen that meme when he's like, that's how be saying, you like, oh man, you see stuff play out like astrologically and like accustom yourself to always look astrologically first. Not saying like that, but like everything as above, so below. So you're like, oh man, let me see astrologically what happened. And then you can start to see it play out in your life rather than you like some magic trick. No offense, you know what I'm saying? You can actually like, oh, cool, instead of just like, being inside of the ocean trying to see all of the beauty and stuff like that. It's like you're gonna drown on there. So like, get stuff like either water.
We're gonna walk on the water. We ain't gonna go in the ocean, we're gonna walk on the ocean.
Yeah, so it's like taking a step back, like looking at it above, so below, like
indeed.
So now what we do now is like, if you would look at art or something like that, we're basically playing out what the planets are doing. It's kind of like not wild to think about, but it is, down to like that.
My pastor said that astrology is the devil. Let me stop it.
Well,
metathesis. Let's metathesize that word and just, just put some words in another place and let's see what that word spells out.
Because somebody told me that somebody told them that somebody told their grandmother that it said in the Bible.
Do you not know that man knows naught by being told? The masterminds.
Look,
don't know.
I'm not attacking the Bible. All right.
No, yeah, that's it.
I am only,
You're not attacking the book, right?
No, I'm only assisting the wisdom pertaining to Brother Benjamin and Brother Sean, because what he's speaking to actually, and then I'm gonna yield to summarize, or just to from what I'm hearing, is that due to the undertaking being approved for our ancestors to be enslaved due to violating their own dollar and 4/4 system, the result pertaining to that is regaining the lost estate. The lost estate is their lost mind in a conflict, period, that cannot be told in words. So since they are perceiving the astrology being embraced by Brother Benjamin as he started out, they have the kind of question that is based in profane thinking. So the reason why people will even challenge the remedy is if you have a cough, let's put it in simpler terms, and someone says, well, Robitussin. Oh, really? But people keep rejecting Robitussin. Why? Because there are books out there by people who actually have something opposite of that, and they really want to give you arsenic. And it's like, no, take arsenic. That'll really help you. All you got to do, you don't even have to take as much in a spoon dosage. You could actually really take an eighth of a teaspoon of arsenic. And please don't nobody try this, because I'm being facetious. All righty, because you'll really die if you take that stuff. But that's the point that I'm making. So people have been in a mindset so deep that when hearing about astrology, they will arrogantly defend against their remedy with their belief, which is a dual-edged sword prison, because you can get out of it provided you accept what Brother Benjamin was saying. So his answer was, well, this is how it benefits me. His answer wasn't, well, because us group of astrologers, we do this. And if you ain't, it's not that. You're talking to me. Okay, well, I'm going to answer the question based on my experience. Chapter 4. I yield the floor.
Oh, I'll pick it back up. That experience is the best teacher.
It's the only
no swine, ain't no swine, not. You say you camelback and what?
It's the only teacher by that experience. Yes.
How dare he violate his freedom of speech like that? If he wants to say piggyback, how dare you correct him to say camelback? And this is things that happen.
That's wild.
When people are really
that's uncultivated.
Well, this is how we felt. I said that statement on purpose. You see what I'm saying? Because the spirit of correction is in the right place.
Yes,
it gets crazy when it's a family feud. Like, no, well, you saying it like that, and you saying that, then it's like, then you can see why we're in the conditions we've been in history, because we've been doing bat-tell on paper. I yield.
Sure. But experience is the best teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
Principle. Yeah, back to principle that man knows not by being told, right? So you got to experience things and process them for yourself. Speaking of which, who can best teach you about yourself than yourself, with that being in the state of your mind? And so honestly, my reply to that question would really mirror a question would be, would it serve you to bring some conscious awareness to that which you were once unconscious about pertaining to yourself? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like all of the examples that y'all have given so far, it from a snap, that's what you're expressing. Like you become aware of things and then can now adjust your experience. Because you know what I'm saying? Because when you're unaware of those things, you don't know what you don't know. And then when you know something, then you have the opportunity to do something about it. So it's like the ignorance can be blissfully painful. However, the awareness also sparks one to become responsible. You know what I'm saying? Because now you have the responsibility, the ability to respond to the thing, whatever that aspect, transit, you know what I'm saying, is. So when you're able to observe that, like Brother Benjamin kept saying, the as above, so below principle, you can do something about it instead of, just kind of through this experience we call life unconscious. You know what I mean? And speaking to Brother Hasan has said, he brought up the word profane, right? And the etymology of profane is to desecrate or treat, in parentheses, holy things with irreverence. You know? So profane minds are throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You know what I'm saying? Not really looking at things from a holy or full, well-rounded perspective. And it again, that is the root to our suffering. Because in this human experience, we know at very least that there's so much that we don't know about our bodies, right? About how our minds work, etc. Even the alleged, quote unquote fact about how much of our brain we actually use type deal. I don't know if anybody knows what percentage that's supposed to be, but it's like when you really tap into that, you know what I mean? It's like, how dare you reject anything without examination, and I yield on that.
Yeah, that's the simplicity of it. It's just simple. I mean, those examples should be enough, based on what you guys said. Seriously.
Give us one more, Brother Jag.
They're hilarious, man.
And also,
but just
my bad, bro.
Go ahead. No, you good, man. You good. Go ahead.
I was going to add to the thought that, you know, in this human experience, right? One of the things that we do is interact with other humans. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's all about still relationships, right? Relationships with others, regardless of the nature of the relationship. So that's also another way you can use a heal if you will. So whether it be examining the relationships as it pertains to business, right, in your career or in your family structure, being able to do that and use astrology as a tool is really healing, and it serves as a tool to assist in that communication in those relationships. You know what I'm saying? Or even measure, right? Because we're the great measurers. Measure if that relationship is worth your energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If we were Indiana, you would want your chart to be your like map wherever you are. You wouldn't just want to run around here not knowing where you're going. Sure.
Period.
It can help you with what kind of friends you best with, you know? Because
Yeah.
you know, astrology, like, oh, okay, well, this is why I don't vibe with him. Oh, that's why I vibe with them, you know. It's, you know, then you can figure out what kind of, you know, job or career is something. It's deeper than what most people think or just kind of come to understand about it from what they see and what they've been taught about astrology. Right?
Yeah, you'll come to the realization like I really got to do this, and that real sense like, oh man, I really have to do this because like it's really accustomed to you and your experience because only you have a certain experience that no one can like, you know, tell you about, that you really just got to go through that. No one can feel fire for you. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone can have a Saturn return, but no one can have a specific Saturn return experience, you know? So it can't be a blanket thing. So everyone is here to learn a different soul lesson, you know?
Hashtag Astro is deeper than rap.
Yeah.
It's like imagine.
Brother Cujo would say, spirit, man, you know, your essence is spirit, you know, or breath. And that's the constant thought, like, you know, like the essence of, you know, virus, like heat, you know, you look at the flames and all the cool stuff, but, you know, it really is something that's going to, you know what I'm saying, make you pay attention or make you a meal.
Right.
So,
Right.
I
mean, what else is going on out there, man? Like, what else is going on out there with the, you know, the people and the times right now? I know what's obviously going on, but, you know, like just to really like even think about the change in the group, the alterings in the culture, so to speak, right? It's a lot of things happening with, you know, just the values. Do you know what I mean? Ultimately, you know, one thing about post-lunar eclipse, lunar eclipse took place with, as we know and discussed, just maybe a little less than a degree past our goal. The eye pertaining to Medusa in the constellation Perseus. Right. So sidereally speaking, that's about, you know, maybe around 2 degrees Taurus, tropically 27 degrees Taurus. So the fact that, you know, when you research Taurus, you know, like the Briyat Parashastra or Shastra, about Briyat Parashastra, right? Or Briyat Parashara or Shastra, right? Is that it? When it comes to the Jyotisha, right, teachings, correct? So with the Jyotisha, you know, it's like an intact compilation pertaining to how to look at certain things with signs or whatever, right? And just thinking of what the different, you know, wise minds previous to us that, you know, we honor, you know, and are able to take their testimonies and diverse delineations and aphorisms, and we're able to even look at, you know, why we're even having this conversation right now. See, when you think of an eclipse, why is the moon red? I enjoy observational astrology, and so even in right now in observing our conversation, I'm just like, yo, look at this, right? So what are we observing right now? Why is it even red? Because the Earth's getting in the way. In the way of what? And is that a proper way to use it? Because sometimes people listen to astrologers and will take that combination pertaining to terms of the Earth getting in the way, and then they'll run with that and have a doom and gloom fatalistic experience pertaining to this past lunar eclipse. Why? Because they have a profane way pertaining to thinking. That is not a slight. That is not being mean. That is saying that there's an undeveloped means in the critical thinking faculties. So the Earth getting in the way of what when the statement's complete should be the question, is getting in the way pertaining to the light. If we were to look at the umbra and penumbra, right? With the umbral and penumbral, when you're talking about areas, right? If you had like a ball and you shine the light on it, you're going to see like these conic energies that we call light reveries or rays. And when there's like, you already know, there's always like the outer bounds of something, and you can kind of feel it, but it doesn't touch you yet. And then once it touches you, it's like kind of basically getting towards the nucleus of it all, to the center of it all. And so when you're looking at a sun, if I'm not mistaken, from the perspective here on Earth, it just looks like, kind of how like the dime fits in the nickel fits in the quarter. Well, the dime fits in the penny fits in the nickel fits in the quarter type thing. You know what I'm saying? That's how we're seeing the planets or whatever. What's actually occurring is the sun, the Earth is in the middle of that light, because normally the moon will have no problem reflecting the sunlight. Hey, I'm a moon. I'm going to reflect this light over there. La la la. Hey, and then the Earth's like photobomb, full moon photobomb, right? And so, however, when that occurs, there's this energy when the sunlight hits an Earth in between the sun and the moon. That light refracts and it picks up the energy and the aura, so to speak, pertaining to Earth, and it's red, right? Ooh, why is it red? Why is it not blue? Isn't it a mostly blue planet as it's depicted on theater pictures with cameras in studios that we don't own but yet believe when they come on screens, right? Who knows? It might be a red planet. However, the energy pertaining to when it comes to, because you probably got to think about all the spectrums of magnetic energies that have been translated into color, right? And it may have, due to the frequency pertaining to those energies pertaining to light and the overall magnetic or electromagnetic forces, the moon thus appears red. All righty. So what I do a lot of times is my thing is, I remember when I told my paternal grandmother that I wanted to be the family historian and lawyer, right? And I know you guys heard this story a lot about how my first fez was gifted to me by my grandma, right? And you guys know, you already know, I still keep that joint, abundant, whatever I got on as, commemoration from, myself personally. But long story short, I always make sure that I research. I don't go off of what I'm just told. I test. I hear, I read, and I test it. And I look for the universal principles in it. I study things to comprehend the faculties. And after I comprehend the faculties and how it works, then I look for what I can learn from it. Where's the gold in it? I'm not saying that the whole system of something I may learn is not fun. What I am saying before I yield the floor is there may be gems within it that are more pertinent and germane to where I am right now in my path than the other things that are in it that really is like, okay, well, I kind of comprehend that and I can just use that as just ancillary, you know, as an ancillary resource. I yield, Brother Jay. Go ahead.
No, I want to say, man. Go ahead.
No, okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's.
I'm just clearing my throat.
Oh, okay. So that's how it is. So in reading things, like for example, if one was to, because a lot of the conversation and what's going on, and even us having this conversation, because there's a change in the thinking. And the first agricultural setting is the mind. The mind is the first agricultural setting. That's where seed planting takes place. That's the first field. I can yield there, guys. I'm not going to sit here and monopolize on the conversation. I know I can be verbose. I'm really just saying things to wait to see who's going to jump in and like, oh shit, hey, look, man, blah, 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 you know. So you can do that at any time. All right.
Sure.
So in looking at these things, when we're studying, we have seen my approach is very what I've experienced. And I'll be upfront when I go, well, in theory, I comprehend this. However, I've been able to exercise the principles in that theory in this situation. Example. I know how to make rice. 2 cups of water for 1 cup of rice. Boil the water, little olive oil, little salt maybe for preference. Once the water's boiling, put the rice in, let that come to a boil after a little stir. Once it's boiled, turn it down to low so it can simmer and then fluff like that after it's absorbing the water. Because this is a chemistry project that we're doing called cooking. There's a principle that's occurring there, though. Let me show you the principle that's happening. Let's ignore the fact that it's rice. And let's just pay attention to the fact that there's a liquid, 2 of them, 1 water, 1 oil, and there's a grain, one that can absorb the water and the oil, so to speak, and take on the flavor of whatever, how that water has been flavored. So now you can replace rice with oatmeal and make it the same way. But some people be like, no, you see what I'm saying? You know, I just take the teapot, make sure that water hot, and then I just pour it on the oatmeal and let that steep and stir. That's cool. That's cool. It's going to yield a certain texture, though, with that process. Not knocking your process. What I am saying is that when you check and research the different ways to prepare that said grain, you will find one that is more suitable for you. I yield the floor.
Like the type of astrologies, like your style of astrology, we all do it. We soaked it up different. Like we and Brother Sean, I'll say we didn't absorb the same oils as such as when you were teaching. Let's say you were teaching a certain class or a certain subject. Maybe I was strong here and not strong there. I'm not saying that I was weak or not, but the way this brain works and all that, and how it seeps in, certain oils produce certain other things. So in one class, I got to be more fluent, you know, and I like the taste of this oatmeal. This is good for me right here, and vice versa, you know, things like that. Doesn't mean like it's wrong, but the principle is how you're absorbing it to your taste, so to speak. So because everybody doesn't put the same amount of salt, same amount of water. You should, you know what I'm saying, things like that. But as far as like the uniqueness of it. You know what I'm saying? Someone may not put as much as like 2 cups of rice, maybe more like 1.5 cups of rice. And that was me. It was like certain classes. I was just, okay, maybe I gotta like not try to do too much out of my soaking up ability. You know, maybe I gotta soak up this and work and see how that takes. You know, okay, that was too much water. Okay, cool. I got the principle down now, and I can apply this principle to different avenues of astrology. So we take the numerical code, and through the numerical code, I can break down and see, and have a thought about something for an aspect or a midpoint. But midpoints and, you know, the numerical code are just like basic and like not advanced, but, you know, it's like the first stepping stone to get to the midpoint. But, you know, through the numerical code, I just like zoom to the midpoint because of the principle. You know, just like making rice. Like, oh man, just whip it up, you good. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Trying to keep it astrological, you know, and things like that. Because it all does start in the mind.
Interestingly, and to ask this question too, because I'm thinking about, you know, I'm thinking about asking you guys questions also as it comes to my mind. Since it's impromptu improv, you already know. If it starts hitting my head, I'm gonna run with it. So, Brother Corey, I have a question about this time of, and how has Mars in Scorpio been for exercise for you and others that you may have have called upon you to assist them in training or exercising? How has Mars in Scorpio, because that's what's ruling the sun in this eclipse. However, that's by sign. I think if I cast the chart as we looked at when Brother Jag went over it in the weather report, if I'm not mistaken, Venus was ruling the second house because the second house cusp was still in Libra. Right? But my question is, though, how is Mars in Scorpio? Like, could you say when, you know, a few months back, when Mars was in Virgo, was there an increase in clientele, so to speak? And I'm not getting into personal things. What I want to see is where was the spirit of, yo, I gotta work out, I gotta do this? Like, did people just, hey, yeah, man, I need to get with you, but they never called, or they were showing up and they were doing that, and then by the time, you know, Mars hit Libra, they chilled out, and now they starting, hey, man, you know, hold on, I might, you know. So I yield the floor.
Yeah, I would say when Mars was in Virgo, there was a bit of contact, interest, but not particularly follow through. However, I mean, that's typical, but I would say when Mars was in Virgo, there was like a little bit of a peak of that for sure. And with Mars and Scorpio now, I think there's been a little bit of a peak of actual energy.
Stop right there. May I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because if Virgo's number 1, Scorpio is what?
1, 2, 3.
Exactly. So now what's happening? From the time that you said there was that peak to about the time now where Mars is 3 signs or 3 houses, if we put Mars on the ascendant, right? 3 houses from there now what's occurring?
Right. So now that energy is actually, but see, like I get where you're going with it, but it's not necessarily like, it's not those people. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay,
so
all right, that's cool.
Played out in an increase of activity, but it's not those people that didn't follow through still didn't follow through. You know what I'm saying? It's more like the current or existing clients. I could see like a little bit of a boost in readiness, like what's the word I'm looking for? Initiative. Yeah. Initiative.
Brother Brother Jag, with Mercury approaching Cazimi, and you was like, yeah, man, before, I was just, playing a guitar, and we know that, we need to probably bring up the calendar real quick just to see, or maybe I can, let's just, give me a screen share over here real quick. And I want to ask you this question because I'm curious. As Mercury approaches the sun, how is it when you're playing music? And this is what I mean, because not only is music a thinking technique or a thinking shastra, right? An instrument that can be utilized, right? Let's see. Where are we? Your hands are involved, and that's ruled by Mercury. So, like, what happens to your hands? Is there anything that you can say, like, hey, yo, I just got a callus. This thing annoying me, man. I need to get another pick. Or, like, that you found your thumb, is a little more sensitive when it's closer to the sun than when it isn't. I don't know. You see what I'm saying? Like, what is it? Or are your palms a little more sweaty when you perform? So you find you need to powder your hands more? No, I'm serious. I know you're about to laugh, but I'm curious because I want to see because the Mercury's already close to the sun, but when it's Cazimi astrologically, when it's in or approaching, it's combust before going Cazimi. Like, can you say that you've experienced, what's really going on, with your hands or in your experience when it comes to music or the guitar itself or anything like that? Oh, no, I was wrong. Hold on, I was wrong. Mars is ruling that from the first. Mars is ruling that. You guys see that for the eclipse?
Oh, yeah.
So Venus is ruling the 8th house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so where's Mars and Venus real quick before we continue? Look at that, yo. They're a sextile away. They're a sextile away. Literally, Venus is approaching sextile. So they are the ones who are responsible for how Mars is responsible for how the sun behaves in this eclipse. Venus is responsible for how the moon behaves in this eclipse. And this eclipse, and Earth is just like, hey, can I get some of this light too?
Gonna get some love.
Yeah, can I get some love? And ordinarily there's this blood moon, as it's called, right? A consanguine luna, right? A lunar consanguinity, right? Look at that, lunar consanguinity.
Boom. When the joke, it was just like.
All right, I yield to you because I did ask Brother Jag a question. I asked him about how is Mercury, as we can see at that time pertaining to the eclipse earlier today, at 0357 seconds of sand here. I thought it was 11, but maybe it was from another perspective in which I saw it. But 17 seconds, right? Yeah, Brother Jag, I yield the floor to you, man. What happens?
Islam. What I can clarify on that with Mercury and the sun, what it does for me specifically, I don't like just to speak on the guitar. I don't think when I'm playing. So when that happens, so to speak, I can see myself, being more, let's say, detailed with my ways of playing, so to speak, or breaking down, let's say, a chord, so to speak, in however way I really know how. So it's being more technical, so to speak, with that mental thinking, so to speak, because like I said, I don't think most of the time when I'm playing. I'm just playing. It's just going. I'm just letting it out. So that is something I can see in regards of like, okay, so I'm playing this chord and what goes with that chord, blah, 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 blah. That's something I see with, with Mercury conjunct the sun for myself in regards of my guitar and pretty much anything that I'm into recently, getting more detailed, so to speak, because I'm very, I just run with it because I grasp things so quickly. So it's like, I get a chord. It's like, all right, yeah, I just played the chord, and then I'm just feeling it. So it's like, it's a lot. So again, like it's me just slowing down and pacing myself, so to speak, with Mercury and the Sun for me. And that's in my chart too. So it's like, again, it's like a regeneration or reanalyzing one's, spark or way of doing things, so to speak. You know what I mean? How you're looking at whatever it is you're creating. That's definitely that energy. Yeah.
Do you find yourself in an inspired producer mode, sort of?
Always. Yeah, that's always. It's like, because I can just play off of myself, really, so to speak. But I prefer not to, you know what I mean? So it was like I would prefer to, I prefer not to, but it seems like that's what happens more often than not, that I'm not playing with other people. So things that I create, it's like, this can be that. Like I could be my own bass player if I had a bass guitar, but I could use my guitar to play the bass and then, just play a loop to that, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I just get so lost in my music. It's like, I'd rather not. It always happens, like always. So yeah.
Beautifully communicate the essentials. Venus in Capricorn in the third house. Beautifully communicate. Venus, third house, the essentials, Capricorn, right? Or reflecting the father's thinking, right? Or the mother's thinking, right? It's really what's ruling, even over Mars, ruling over the second house, because Libra is the ascendant. So even Venus is ruling ultimately as last dispositor, sort of, kind of. However, it's really Saturn because Jupiter's ruling over Venus and Jupiter's in Aquarius under the rulership of an at-home Saturn in Aquarius. All right. So when we really look at Saturn in the fourth, it's really, we are really setting house in order. This is a set house in order, and it's really it's a growth opportunity. This is such a beautiful growth opportunity. A lot of people will have this doom and gloom perspective pertaining to these eclipses. So, so it's like I want to ask, in thinking about different things of what I know what our interests are, Brother Sean, how for you, right? Because for those that don't know, right? Remember Above the Rim? Who was the dude in Above the Rim? What's his name? Jesus something? Jesus Saint Jesus Shuttlesworth, right? Jesus Shuttleworth, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to front of house waiting, that's Brother Sean. He's Jesus Shuttleworth, right? Of the front of house, making sure you're getting served properly, right? Wherever, like you ever had Brother Sean doesn't tell you guys this, but he actually is like the kind of waiter who gets outsourced a tour to different restaurants because he's got to be that ill, right?
Open them up. Right.
That's major when somebody goes, hey, yeah, we got a new business and we need to get it started. Yeah, can you come up here and help us to get it in order? You're Jesus Shuttlesworth in the front of house restaurant business, all righty? So with that being said and going above the rim, right, above and beyond, this is Mercury again. I'm asking you, how is Mercury? And it's funny, it's in Aquarius. Have you found yourself being stronger in the back of house? Are you expediting your own orders this Mercury transit more than you used to? I yield the floor.
Nah, man, they pretty, you want to sometimes, how you just, with the restaurant, like everything is, is intense, you got people coming in wanting the food. Everybody's wanting food, you know, putting it in. Everybody's busy trying to get it out, you know, and you know, sometimes you have stuff with the kitchen crash, or you know, and it's just being intense. I feel like, you know, people are just really eating, you know. I've been seeing people that, you know, usually kind of see don't come out a lot, and you know, the need of this is at a I would feel like at an all-time high right now. You know, people just want to eat food, want drinks, want rolls, you know, and
Yeah.
and I think like I'll tell people at work as well, as like, you know, like once, you know, that Black Friday hits, man, that's when restaurants, you know, retail and everything takes off. Like everybody, you know, that's saying everybody and their mama gonna be out, you know. At the you know, restaurants, you know, want to eat some. And like
Hell Friday.
I'm starting to notice is like that intense Scorpio energy of wanting it, and how, you know, it when you see it move into like Sagittarius, how it's like more lighter, more freeing than the intense water energy as well, as we start to get near that transition.
All right, Brother Benjamin. When it comes to entrepreneurial endeavors, because I would say that you would probably be experiencing that the closest also when it comes to serving people in your immediate experience, right? When it comes to entrepreneurial endeavors in the restaurant realm, right? My question wouldn't be Mercury for you. For you, even though Mercury rules business, right? I'm going to ask you about the Mars portion, right? Because what I want to know is, have you found like your own little ways of doing things recently? Like you interact with this restaurant, or maybe you interact with different things that you do in your entrepreneurial endeavors, right? Has some things been uncovered to you that were like quote unquote tricks of the trade that nobody really shared with you, but you just kind of picked up and you're utilizing it?
And this, it may seem like mad mundane, but I guess since I'm an aggressive person, it's like a scanner thing. Well, you got an item and you got your little scanner thing, and I'm like here, but I learned that like back it up, it'll like ding. And so I see Mr. Rod a couple of nights ago having my same issue.
Mm-hmm.
This is an older gentleman, and I'm like, Mr. Rod, you got to back it up a little bit, and it'll work. And he backs it up, and it go ding. So that was something.
Stop it, because that's a laser, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mars is the laser.
Yeah. It's like a shooter thing, like a do. And I'm like, man,
and it's used to balance the books.
Yeah.
To take inventory. Yo, that's bananas. I'm just really just going with what, you know, I'm getting these energies like, yo, don't ask him about Mercury, ask him about Mars and Venus, that sextile that's kind of really rolling over it, but don't go into Saturn yet, because I see what the Saturn's going to be doing. But, you know, I wanted to ask you that particular question because it's like, yo, did you have an experience like in your, and it's so mundane because I'm not even going off of your actual chart. I'm going off of a mundane chart. But, you know, in the question that I'm asking, I'm just curious, was there something that dealt with like a behind the scenes trick of the trade? And wow, man, that's really amazing. No, that's not mundane at all. That's very, and I mean, because the Venus of it, like I said, is the bookkeeping.
Yeah.
And the Mars is the laser. So that's electronic bookkeeping. That's through the laser.
Like
what's so funny? Hold on, stop. It's a hand laser because Mars is conjunct the Mercury.
Yeah, I was not using my hand. Like,
yo.
Trigger.
That's amazing, man. Part of basis on the rise too. And as we're looking at this whole you know, chart here. That's amazing. What is 12 degrees Capricorn and 13 degrees Mars actually? I'll just say this. I know I'm having a Mars return. So I'm just kind of like, it's like a solar return, but instead of the sun, it's Mars, you know. So I'm just kind of basking in it, you know, right now, whatever, so to speak. So yes, baby. Okay, all right. Yes.
So let's see, 13 degrees Scorpio was air pressure.
Ah, gotcha.
So 12 degrees Capricorn.
Uh-huh.
Cusp of the 23rd lunar mansion.
Cusp of the 23rd lunar mansion. That's not Aula Cleo, is it? I don't think.
Just to go back to that the very first question, just since y'all bringing that up, how is astrology helpful in that subject? Just with this energy and this whole lunar eclipse that we're speaking about, the observations or how health issues are going to be at the forefront, and how you'll see how you really have to start taking care of your body, your temple. That's really going to bring you to that. That can definitely bring you to that knowledge with astrology. Right. Just bringing you that, you know, observation itself. Like, okay, so this is definitely going to have some sort of consideration to do with the throat and the bowels, period. So that's just pertaining to your intake and your diet. So then, you know, your processes on that diet, you know, you're going to go through certain ailments or not based on what you know, process, you know, physically. So that's very, very essential, your health. So that is indeed how you know,
gain your loss.
Observe self, you know, taking care of yourself. That's the main thing, you know. Why wouldn't you do that? That's foolishness. Like you.
And that was, hold on, what did we say? What was the
23rd lunar mansion?
We were looking at
first and cusp of the 23rd.
Yeah, it was Capricorn, right?
Yep, 12.
Yeah, around 12 degrees, right? And in that map, it was at like 12 what something. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, happiness and good fortune is real close, but that's in 1925. So can you brothers do me a favor? This is 2025 is less than 4 years away. So let's just do 90. Let's just do 97. Let's just do 97 times 0.838. 97 times 0.838.
81.286.
So 81.28 would give me about 1 degree, 21 minutes. And you said the point is what? What's the point?
0.286.
Do 81. So hold on, we know what 81 is, right? All right, so do 0.286 times 60. 0.286 times 60 get you what?
17.16.
So 17 seconds. So 1 degree, 21 minutes, and 17 seconds. So let's add 1 degree, 21 minutes, and 17 seconds to Acela, which would be at 13 degrees.
52 minutes.
52 minutes and roughly 17 seconds, right? So 1352, right? So if I was to minimize this encyclopedia and look at 1352, look, Mars is approaching sextile that fixed star, dealing with good fortune. So that's why I said a lot of times on the mundane, people will sit there and, ooh, boogity boo, it's an eclipse and it's a blood moon and it means this. Not to the profane. However, to those initiated, right, And that doesn't mean you went to some building with some secret squirrel club group. Initiated means you recognize self, you honor your ancient foremothers and forefathers so that your days may be long upon the earth land, and so that you are clear that the science pertaining to the zodiac and the 12, science pertaining to astrology and the 12 signs of the zodiac is our ancient foremothers and forefathers mindset for us to have our days be long upon the earth plane, right? I know I thought it was beautiful too when I first heard it. So, right, and still hearing it now, right? It's awesome. So with that being said, so now we can look at other things. See, sometimes, when we just look at things and we're doing our presentations, the bros on Monday and the bros on Wednesday, and it just seems like, oh, we're just saying things like this, okay, we'll be completely complicated and you be technical and write reports. And then we'll have some time, we'll just freestyle. However, there's so many ways of slicing and looking at these, transits and things that happen that when you really start looking at them and all the components that are involved, you'll see that nature is actually working something for our greater benefit in our favor. It's just that it's making sure that there are things that are going to happen that are for the collective benefit, overall. And it's not going to make sure that anybody is it's really real hard to put people into unconscionable contracting unless they're just ignorant to contract law and jurisprudence, like seriously, or not contract law, but contracting, and utilizing jurisprudence. So I yield on that note. Who's got another topic, man? I really just asked those questions based off of, because it all started with Brother Benjamin talking about, so how is it utilized? And I was like, let me ask questions because, I know my bros, I know what you guys are into, right? So let me ask questions based off of what you are into or whatever, right? And see how that works.
I was like, this is how it helped me. I guess if people thinking like that, but most of the thing I see on Twitter is like personality stuff, not like hating, but it's like, let's say I'm Sun Aries, right? So people expect me to just run through a door. So it would be like a meme would be like
Sun and Kool-Aid man love.
So it's very like not kiddie, but it's not as serious or as psychological as it could be. Like we all speak about mental health and all the things like that. Well, astrology, literally mental health is like it's a snapshot of the cosmos, of your consciousness at the time. So it's much more than how you're affected, day to day of somebody like Sun and Scorpio now. So everyone wants to think lower self things, but you could be behind the scenes, shining light on contracts, things of that nature, getting your joint finances together, what I'm saying? Just even, let's say, controlling that.
Sorry, but I wasn't cutting you off,
Oh, go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? Now that you are in Scorpio, you just got to think about to 180 degrees of what she was doing then. And now all that is now coming to the physical from that 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So, what did you do with your parents' finances back then or, your routine? And now it's just you're seeing that light of it and, just like how you make a sculpture, you just make you adjust and cut off what needs to be cut off and just keep continuing to perfect whatever you had started.
Yeah, what Brother Hasan said, measure, he didn't make this up, but we were speaking, so I'm just pulling from that conversation. We measured twice, cut once. If I'm willing to be corrected.
Well, that's a principle. That's a universal principle.
Yeah.
I'm
just saying, Brother Sean was saying, just cut off that stuff. Like you were saying, okay, last 6 months, how was I handling my finances during this quote unquote, last moon cycle? You know what I'm saying? Next 28 days, what did I do? Did I buy during a void of course? Did I miss the weather report with my brothers? Did I go out thinking I'm, shine, and woo, I'm down negative 13 in the counter. Because I didn't know what the moon was, because the moon, circulates the finance, and our bodies actually take our body that was built in our mother's womb with finances in our pocket to go preserve this body. So, what I'm saying? That as well. So I'm putting my actual body in a void of course by using my federal notes in a void of course moment. If you're checking out the bros every cycle, what I'm saying? Just trying to keep it like how the moon is governing the fiat, quote unquote, and you, because you're carrying it. So how did you, moon star, carry the fiat, you know, in violation of how we're supposed to be doing things? So it's like, you could have missed that as well. You know, just so many things you can get into when it falls into astrology. And then,
hold on. You said in Uranus is the carrier. Did you say that?
no, I didn't say that. No, but that's probably what you heard. But I said you are the character. But that's what you heard.
Oh,
Uranus.
I thought you said Uranus is the carrier. I'm about to say that's a really good way of looking at it, because Aquarius is the water bearer. So yeah, I was going to say, yeah, that was awesome. But okay.
Oh yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah. I'm not gonna front like that. It sounded great. And I'm like, nah. You are the carrier. I'll speak up and separate my words. But yeah.
Well, good. I mean, maybe I was supposed to hear it like that. So it's all
Yeah,
good.
maybe, you know, take the Uranus approach. Like, you know, that's a higher octave of a planet. So will be Saturn.
Uranus is Mercury. Mercury's higher octave. Let's see.
Yeah.
Uranus, Pluto,
Cool.
Mercury, Venus, Mars. Yeah. Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury.
So it's still Mercury dealing with like your everyday currency, like that. You know, how you use your hands. Where did you who did you spin the fiat to? How did you bend that elbow 90 degrees?
Islam.
90 degrees of discourse that I ignored.
Islam.
18 hours, you're just like, man, I could have had the bag of chips. You know, then, you know, Venus retrograde rolls through. Well, it would be
next, man.
I would go out and just be Jupiter, like my eye bigger than my stomach sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, gotta have that discipline. That's when Saturn's like, come on, man, I did it to you already. How many times we're gonna teach you this? It's like, come on down.
Yeah, well,
talk to him like that.
We need
like,
that conceited meme face and have like a caption. Saturn looking at people doing something he about to punish him for.
Well, yeah. Basically,
okay.
All right.
It's like the Ike Turner face when he's like, when you do with the Bob, whatever.
It's like, all right. I know what that's like. Pardon me. You know, this is impromptu improv, so I'm eating and everything. It reminds me of okay, well, I'll say it like this. I have a personal relationship with Saturn in Libra because that's my sidereal placement for my Saturn. So Saturn is exalted in Libra in my sidereal chart. And I'm clear on what the duties are pertaining to that Saturn. And to reverse the curse that we put ourselves under, Mount Ararat, right? Noah rested the ark at Mount Ararat, and Mount Ararat means the curse is reversed, right? So in reversing our curse that we brought on ourselves by being despot dictators, right? And violating our own laws of nature, laws pertaining to nature, right? Now it's like we're here in the moment to do the reverse. Yeah, so it's like when we have this knowledge and things of that nature, everything has to be converted into beneficial for humanity. And even in considering what's beneficial in humanity, in no way, shape, or form can it bring harm to another for the sake of the whole. And it can't bring harm to the whole for the sake of a single.
Yeah.
So it must be universal in its approach and in how it is dealt with and how it is presented. For example, I, Mother Sekhmet, and Surya had went to a CVS, right? And story is funny. Say that's that love drool. So we went to CVS to get a solar return card for our little cousin, right?
Yeah.
And here comes, you know, our unconscious Moorish mothers. Excuse me, do you have a mask? Because I can't have you in here in the store, and I can't check you out if you don't have a mask on. I didn't even respond. I looked at her. I walked over to the cards. Me and Segment, I was like, this one's great, honey. Like, this one, just like we didn't even hear her. And Segment came to the counter to get checked out, and she was like, self-checkout's open now.
Ooh.
No.
Right.
Let me tell you the beauty in that. Let me really go into the beauty, and let me show you the chart as I'm saying it, right? It's back to that Mars sextiling that Venus energy again, type vibe. Even though this happened, you know, a few days ago, right?
Yeah.
But it's approaching, you know, so this energy is approaching. You know, Venus moves faster than Mars, so it's approaching, right? The beauty in her saying self-checkout is open is the spirit pertaining to the universe unveiling the autonomy. Yeah, you see that? Yeah, Benjamin. It's like the laser bookkeeping instrument that you utilize. Automation is what's going down. If you do not know how to handle your own affairs, if you don't know how to do your own checkout, if you don't know how to dismiss your own court case, oh man, they said this. No, you're supposed to write the writ and say this case is dismissed. I have to say it like Brother Taj, we're not used to delegating our own affairs. We have to get used to giving in order, giving orders and judgments. Seriously, pretty sure he's gonna go in on something like that this evening.
Right.
Seriously, because the reason why there's an issue that's happening on the planet is because the people are unsure of themselves. So you can't even watch this live, try to take the energy and be, you know, oh, I got that spirit off of what he just said. Yeah, now I'm empowered. Now I'm gonna go out here and do this. And it's kind of like, you know, a stack of Pringles. You know, I know they good, and you just gonna keep eating them, but eventually you're gonna hit the bottom of that can, man.
Ding.
You're gonna hit the bottom of that can of them Pringles, unless you know how to keep yourself from desiring Pringles. Because now there's no need for you to keep going after them. You don't have anything blocking you. There's no obstacle. And usually the obstacle in people coming to the truth and accepting and declaring and proclaiming their nationality is the fact that they fucking love Pringles. And Pringles, and what I'm saying, is proverbial. I don't literally mean Pringles. Pringles is the proverbial sense consciousness thing that's gone for to satisfy the sense consciousness. Oh no, yo, motherfuckers gonna try to fire me, yo. I start talking that Moorish American shit, yo. Oh no, yo. I can't be sitting here being myself, yo, because then I can't gratify my lower self. It's way easier to gratify my lower self not being myself.
But they made it fun being ignorant.
Huh?
They made it fun being ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I comprehend the Buddhist approach. Hey, I know I don't need chocolate chip cookies. However, I'm not about to lust over chocolate chip cookies. So I'm gonna eat these 3 chocolate chip cookies and then I'm over it.
Yeah.
instead of lusting day after day, and next thing you know, now I've done picked up a 3 cookie a day habit instead of getting the cookie the day I desired it, and then now I'm over it because probably by the second cookie I was ready to give the third one away anyway.
And the desire isn't as strong.
Exactly.
World, you're like, ooh, and then you're like back instead of letting it thicker. It's like what comes slow, comes strong.
Yeah,
most definitely.
That Saturn energy right there. What comes slow comes strong.
That's what you were saying. Saturn is like, oh, you ain't get it right. Saturn doesn't let you jump the line. Some people will say. But that's another perspective. It's not that Saturn is about not allowing you to not do something. Saturn's order.
Use your bones. Like
It's an ordered structure, not for the sake of pissing you off. It's an ordered structure for the sake of you having something structured for you to benefit.
Yeah.
It's like road work. It's like, oh man, it's one lane, we gotta go slow. It's like, okay, well, y'all just want bumpy roads. Saturn just to make you slowly progress, and then boom, once that time that stretch has been complete to be done, now you can get back to the regular speed limit and roadway.
Saturn is what I've heard women call certain men when they don't find them attractive immediately. Saturn is what you would call slow find. Why are you laughing, bro? I've heard women in the South refer to, not necessarily me, and I'm not bragging. I've actually heard a woman refer to my dad like that. She's like, yeah, your father, he is so such. But I'm telling you, he's slow fine because I ain't liking that first. Like, okay, I don't know why you're telling me, but whatever. So slow fine, which is kind of an insult. But anyway, you know who else was slow fine?
Steve
Urkel.
Ability.
To Laura Winslow.
He was fun when he go to Stefan.
That's what I mean. So Saturn's slow find. People don't appreciate Saturn until they think about it. So it's like here's a not appreciating Saturn, the Steve Urkel, but then you're finding the Stefan Urkel in the Saturn. And that's, man, fuck this speed limit, man. Dad, I want to go faster, man. But what's 25, man? 25 slow as shit. However, the Stefan Urkel to Saturn is, I'm saving gas. Because you already know if it's something that's 25 miles an hour, that's what they call non-highway travel. Some people term it, quote unquote, inner city travel. That's constant stop and go that have you doing a lot of gas speeding. If you don't have a 4-cylinder, that's probably a manual transmission, then yeah, you're probably burning gas a lot quicker. Right? So what you can begin to do, what Saturn allows you to do, Saturn allows you to appreciate. It's not really disciplining Saturn. I know that's a term that's used for the profane to graduate from profane to initiation. But Saturn is really saying, do you even appreciate why this structure? Look, man, it's already set up for you. You don't appreciate this?
Yeah. Pull up that I think that's in the medical encyclopedia of medical astrology with that Saturn reference. And it says, how they say it's the unfortunate planet or whatever. However, like you said, it's really the one that's really assisting you for structure. That's I'm paraphrasing. That's not what it says verbatim, but yeah, if you can pull that up for him.
Yeah,
I think that's the Encyclopedia of Medical Astrology.
You said for Saturn, right? I'll bring up the PDF while you're going through your hard copy or whatever.
Yeah, it is. It is the medical astrology one. Yeah.
On the encyclopedia.
Yes.
Let's see. Let me go to.
It's 7:34 in the physical copy, so it might be 6:30 something in the PDF.
It's 7:34 in the physical copy.
So it's probably
encyclopedia. Let's see y'all. Encyclopedia. Boom. There we go. All right, Encyclopedia of Medical Astrology by Howard Leslie Cornell. All right. Just waiting on this to load it up. And you said page 734 in the physical copy, correct?
Yes.
All right, and we're gonna read that article on Saturn, and we'll read along with Brother Jag. So give me one moment, just waiting on this to load. Streaming and downloading at the same time. I'll be streaming and downloading at the same time.
La Mismo.
What you say?
Reading Sidereal at the same damn time.
Funny, I'm still in the herbs article from the last time we went over this, right?
Ooh.
Just talking about Mercury.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I know, right? All right, so we are looking. He said 7. So let's see, where am I at now? 6, right? Where am I at now? All right, you said 7:30. What again?
4.
7:34, and that is equivalent to PDF page 755. So 55 minus 34 is 21 page difference. So it's a 21 page difference from the PDF paging and the physical paging. All right, and 734, and where are we reading?
That in Fortune.
In Fortune. Boom. Do your thing, Brother Jag. Oh, they got me. Let's do this one more time.
Otra vez.
755.
Oh, no. No.
I'm not doing shit. No. That's a
good, right? 755. I said, right? 755, right? In there, and then we're bringing it here. In Fortune. I yield the floor, Brother Jag. Islam.
Islam. All right. So it reads here, Saturn. That's that glyph there, right? Of course. But I gotta zoom in. Yeah, so Saturn is classed as the quote-unquote greater in fortune due to his severe and prolonged periods pertaining to affliction, while Mars is known as the quote-unquote the lesser in fortune. However, Saturn is not an infortune to those who are living right and striving to rule their lower nature and the evils pertaining to life. So that right there is very, that's a highlight, so to speak, that classifies or lets you know, again, when you're really just being yourself and knowing your lower self, you're going to really just, live accordingly to the moral compass.
Yeah.
Speak.
It's a beautiful article,
right? Those who are living right and striving to rule their lower nature and the evils of life. So the planetary hierarch, which rules over Saturn, is one of the Elohim, one of the quote-unquote 7 spirits before the throne, a messenger of God, right? And assigned to the work pertaining to uplifting humanity.
Hold on, stop it. What?
And working out their ultimate. Yeah.
Hold up, that sounds like something Prophet Noble Drew Ali said. He was a Capricorn. What planet rules Capricorn again?
Saturn.
Oh,
I think it's that glyph right there at the top.
How about it?
Interesting. Yeah, it's right there.
That's who gets to be
Running. Say it again.
That gets the least love too, like in the of all the
people, because it's like that.
Of all the planets, Saturn gets the least. But I'm like, if it weren't for Saturn, we'll be like chicken noodle soup.
Least of no substance.
So now I'm thinking of, y'all remember that GIF I sent where it said Mars and Saturn and sect?
You said what?
When I said that SpongeBob meme, it was like Mars and Saturn and sect. You know how the Saturn's the greater and the Mars the lesser.
Got you. Yeah. Islam. And you talk about in their sect. Yeah, actually, yeah. That's absolutely very true, because Mars is the greater in fortune in the daytime sect, and the lesser in fortune is Mars in the nocturnal sect or the nighttime sect. So diurnal We know the diurnal sect team or the god team, Sun, Jupiter, Saturn, and the goddess team or the nocturnal team is Moon, Venus, Mars, and at the helm is Mercury, and being neutral, and we'll take the team or whichever one is strongest in the sect, whatever sect is strongest, so to speak, but really whichever luminary is above the horizon, because it'll let you know if it's night or day, you know. But I yield, we yield. Go ahead, Brother Jag. This is a really good article. I like this article. I like this within this. Go ahead.
Messenger pertaining to invocations, right? And assigned to the work pertaining to uplifting humanity in working out their ultimate salvation and perfection. So that's each being's destiny, so to speak.
And these next four words is my favorite words when it comes to astrology.
Indeed. It's no planet. No planet is evil. No planet is evil, but only seems evil from our viewpoint when we come under his afflictions and chastisements, which are not given as punishments or retribution, but only to make humanity better.
So in other words, it's not really a punishment. Right. It's like this. Imagine you were a wire and you were bent, and then Saturn is like the wire straightener of your like wire cutter hand tool. And then you go to straighten the wire back up, and now the wire is like, God damn, man. But you know, I'm all bit out of shape, man.
Yo, that's the broken blades. That's the broken blades chapter. That just made me think of the broken blades when you said that.
Yeah,
what's that, chapter 12?
Exactly.
That's chapter 9.
Chapter 12.
It's not.
No.
That's chapter 12.
It is chapter 9.
That's chapter 9.
Oh, time out. Let me think. Is it chapter 9 where there was the storehouse? It was about the storehouse, and it was like, all the ones with broken blades, get rid of them.
Yeah. That's this whole scripture right here. This whole little article could be looked at like that, especially no planet is evil, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, it would make a lot of people.
But only seems evil from our viewpoint. That's
So that means people's viewpoints are skewed, or they're not in harmony with nature, because even to find a savior in certain books, there were 3 wise men that had to look to some non-evil planets to do so.
Well, so that answered your question earlier. It's like, my pastor told me this. It's like, well, your pastors should watch his thinking.
Your pastor is an astrologer who swore not to tell you he's an astrologer.
Islam. Mic drop.
It's like I said, bars.
Yeah, that was fluent there.
I mean, I'm not being mean or evil or anything. However, I know our charge, and I'm going to tell the truth, and I don't have to be, rude or mean when I do it. However, I am going to be assertive, and I'm going to, encourage us to do the same, because we're uplifting humanity, fallen humanity, to be exact. And to see it in this is an encyclopedia of medical astrology. So uplifting fallen humanity is a medical issue. So when people be like, oh, you went to medical astrology, if anybody really knows what Seven Hill Star is about, Seven Hill Star is based in medical astrology. Hit 7 Hill Star, right? So you know what I mean? So with that being said,
and that's back to Brother Benjamin's question. Literally, like,
how does this
all pertaining to health, you being healthy, you healing thyself and knowing thyself.
But hold on.
Not looking at.
But NBA Youngboy hasn't dropped a song about how cool Saturn is. Neither has the Migos, nobody's out there, really Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby.
So it's not cool. It's not.
So we
popular.
it doesn't make sense yet because Saturn is just a planet, right?
Well, that's because the people who run the record deals. See, this is how record deals work. Okay, so there will be a meeting, right? And in this meeting, they'll call in all the. Let's say we're all astrologers, right? And we are. And we're part of this astrology label. We have this, but instead of records, it's an astrology firm, right? However, we're more like no limit because we can produce our own stuff or whatever. You know, we don't really need a deal. We can distribute our own stuff, and promote our own stuff or whatever. So anyway, even though, you know, when it comes to No Limit and Cash Money, that was a distribution deal where they take 85 cents and, you know, Universal takes 15 cents. But anyway, let's make our point that I'm making here. So, and you know, then there's like, all the astrologers come together and there's this meeting. And in the meeting, it says, yeah, if you're going to still do astrology professionally, the only stuff that's going to be popular and get pushed, and we're going to put finances behind and make sure it's well sponsored, is astrology that only caters to sun signs. That's it. We don't care about nothing else but sun sign astrology, right? Now, all the astrological community is going to be like, that's BS. However, there's going to be some people that's only going to produce sun sign astrology reports and then be like, this is the ancient way that the ancients did sun sign astrology. No, they didn't. They didn't do that. However, that's what's popular right now. And that's the only way you're going to be able to feed your family because you're what'd you say? Oh, you're being held to only, if you want to eat, you can only do astrology this way. You know what I mean? And it's like, wow, if you want to eat, you can only rap about continuing the fall. You fell, Emmanuel Ben Bey Muali, Big Ben Bey, quote unquote, said, hey, yeah, these Moors aren't getting together. So, hey, you people, I approve you undertaking them. If you remember, for those of you that don't hang out, you know, at funeral homes like I did when I was little, I literally been playing hide and go seek, you know, funeral homes or whatever, because, you know, family, you know, we're morticians. So with that being said, you know, with you're not really, let me see how I'm going to say this. It is really necessary to find a way, right? Go ahead. Oh, all right, I know. All right, it's lunchtime. It's lunchtime. It's time for lunch. I know, right? I just bubble guppy that, right? It's lunchtime. It's time for lunch. Where was I going though? I had a brain fart for a second because I really thought about that, but I was going into the whole, you know, funeral thing or whatever, and not being used to. So give me a moment. Where was we going?
You like play around. Your family was morticians. You used to play around there, and
yeah, but it was something else I was going in on. So it'll come back to me. But the point that I'm overall making when it comes to this astrology, right? We're not used to embracing that which seems scary. That's really where I was going.
Oh, could I
not popping.
That's really where I was going. Go ahead. I yield. Mm-hmm.
There's from the Encyclopedia of Astrology. I was just going through, but it says, thus one can consider the crucifixion to be an archetypal pattern of conflict of the universe, intangible and creative against the local institution in concrete. Organized society always denies and persecutes its creative redeemers, whether they be artists, true statements, inventors, or teachers. So I was
what page are you on?
83 in the actual pages, but as far as like the PDF, it's page 48 of 224.
What section is that? Cycles?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's the C section?
Yeah.
All right. You said it's page what again?
the page 83 of the actual book, and the PDF is page 48 of 224.
All right, I got you. I'm gonna bring it on down to cycles. Give me 2 seconds. Let me hold it.
Yeah, we said
Hold it.
okay.
Let's see. Let's share the screeneth on this one.
What was that, brother? You said cycles?
Yeah,
83?
yeah. If you got I'm on my iPad. If you're on the iPad, in the side the drive is page 224. No, no, I'm lying. Come on, page 48 of 224. I'm lying. There you go.
Page 48. Oh, okay. So you said cycles, right?
Yeah, cycles.
Okay, where were you reading?
At the very bottom. I read the whole thing, but
yeah, but you were just talking about where people basically reject truth. That's what I wanted to highlight.
Yeah, thus one consider. Go to organized society. Organized society all organizes and persecutes its creative redeemers. That's what the part that was I was
Hold on, I'm trying to see if I'm there. Is it at the bottom of the article? Is that a bottom of the article or?
I would maybe see.
Let me actually see in my book. Hold on.
Oh, you have to go back up a little bit because I remember seeing go back up a little bit.
Hold on, I got my encyclopedia of astrology right here. So hold on, give me 2 seconds. Once I see
okay, yeah, I saw you at Brother Benjamin.
84. The solar reoccurrences, the synodic period is kind of what starts off those two.
Yeah, but go back up if that's what you. I guess you got the hard copy.
Well, this is the software. It's also within the software also.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
I'm at cycles, right?
Got to go down.
So I got to go down, right?
Yeah.
All right, that's what I thought. And where's
A
that?
little bit more.
Where's that Jane Jr.? I'm looking for that Jane Jr. at the end of something.
A steady of vast ritual.
It's past the Uranus cycle. It's like the last of it.
That's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought.
My bad.
No, you're good. You're good. It's no worries, man.
There we go.
Yeah, right here. Yeah. All right. So where I'm just trying to highlight where you were reading so I could point it out so the people could see
Go up
it.
a little bit more.
And go up.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
Okay. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Organized society always denies and persecutes its creative redeemers, whether they be artists, true statesmen, inventors, or teachers. Yeah.
And that, like you were going, people are scared to like get into what it actually really is, or the truth. You know, the truth is addicts. So it's like, don't be afraid of that. And they
hard to swallow.
Confidently protecting the dogma by making you us gaslight ourselves when we know what the truth is within ourselves, not but like you've done your experience and you've done your studies, so you're coming from a place of confident knowledge, if I'm saying that so mundanely, but not to be boastful of yourself, but you're like, no, I know to look left and right and confidently walk across the street, and they're like, oh my God, he's walking across the street. But it's like, you know, he just knows how to like look left and look right and go across instead of just playing frog leap with your life, which is basically without your constitution or your chart. You're basically playing leapfrog with life, and you know what I'm saying, you not knowing what you're doing.
If you can you read that highlighted paragraph again for us?
Yeah.
And again, we're reading Nicholas Devore as the Encyclopedia of Astrology by Nicholas Devore.
Gotcha.
And on ad libs is Zodiacal. Hasan Ghaziel Bey.
All right. Coming behind Mr. Soya right. The most perfect illustration of this was the start of the mission of Jesus at the age of 30 in 25 AD at the full moon of April 1st.
Stop that.
Of that year.
Stop right there. He was the age of 30 in what year?
AD. 25 AD.
Stop. What's 25 minus 30?
Or 30 minus 25? Or
Just think about what this book just said. When people try to say the year 0 is when he was born, according to this, he was born 5 BC.
Oh,
So how you born 5 years before yourself? Let me stop. Go ahead.
at the full moon of April 1st of the opposed sun in
I'm a
Aries.
magician.
Saturn with
Let me tell you how I know I'm your savior. I'm here 5 years before I'm born. Like, what? Hold up.
You remember Trunks and DBZ, how he time traveled? That was me, bro.
I'm not knocking it though. It's a beautiful thing. We already know what it really is. I'm just having fun. We're having fun, right? All right, Let me mute the mic so you can do it, because Segment and Sorty are having a ball, and I ain't gonna stop them. So I'm gonna mute. Go ahead.
All right. Saturn with the sun and Jupiter with the moon, close to the equinox, the intersection of the equator and the ecliptic. Hence, the same level squaring this was Neptune and Capricorn opposing Uranus and Cancer, near the line of the intersection of the invariable plane and the ecliptic, the other and universal level of Christ. Thus, one can consider the crucifixion to be an archetypal pattern, the conflict of the universe, intangible and creative against the local, institutional, and concrete. Organized society always denies and persecutes its creative redeemers, whether they be artists, true statements, inventors, or teachers. I yield.
Islam.
And the statesman that most people are used to seeing, if they don't know that he's the elder statesman and never a presiding officer, is Benjamin Franklin. That's right? Absolutely. All right, so this has been great, guys. Any questions, comments, and I haven't been checking chats or anything, so I don't know if people have been commenting or anything. So pardon me, guys, that did comments. Maybe we'll answer your comments and stuff you asked, and questions in the comments, and we'll just go back and honestly answer them. Because I know this is on YouTube at 7 Hill Star or whatever, so you guys can do that. I know I sent out as much as I could, but when we do this and we go into these things, it's just be really, really awesome. And I know we've only been, where are we coming up on maybe 2 hours right now? Is there any other discussions that's really going on out there? You know what I'm saying? Okay, Soria says that. Okay, I don't know if I can really speak on that, but no, I'm joking. Go ahead. What'd you say, bro?
The health. I'm gonna just speak on that just real briefly, and just that'll bring you that clarity pertaining to, again, astrology. Just utilize, or you'll be seeing, some ailments, being suddenly brought to the forefront. Maybe some family members of some sort. Maybe some sudden deaths, that really just, it wakes you up, seriously. So pay attention, to what's happening around you, so to speak. So you can, take advantage instead of, feeling like life is against you, like, oh my God, it's always something. And it's just, that's great. Just be ready for those things. Say it again, Brian.
I was like, don't assist the pendulum. You're like, don't just stand there and just like, hey, I'm right here.
Yeah,
grab it,
right. The pendulum.
Adjust
and just slice yourself in half.
Use your adaptability.
It's
really get into those creative arts, the liberal arts, so to speak, specifically. Free your own self from these physical or mental constructs, however you look at them, but they're all mental. It starts in the mind first. So, adjust your mind, to adjust how you're looking at, your circumstances, so to speak.
Yeah. Get your Jesus turtle swerve mentally.
I'm sleepy too. All right, guys. Well, like, Daddy, I'm sleepy. Walk me around. That's my nose. Any other questions, comments, and/or suggestions, bros? Any other things that you can discuss? We can improv in an impromptu fashion, right? Going once, going twice, because I'm willing to yield, man. This is great.
Great.
I think we deliver what we delivered. I think the people will be seeing this more as they have been recently, every Wednesday. Now, Brother Sean and Brother Benjamin will be there for every moon day. Teeling day. She's doing this one. Right. So with that being said, what else? Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all. So, all right, y'all. Well, I'm going to yield the floor. Mondays and Wednesdays, you'll be seeing Brother Sean and Brother Benjamin on there.
Before you yield the floor, Brother Sean.
Brother Core is back.
Brother President Bey. We were wondering, when
you're running, making that campaign run.
Hey, yo, so hold on. Are you saying I should end off with this? Hold on, let's see. Can I end it off with this? Let me see if I can find it. Because it's funny. It's only funny. I don't, in any way, shape, or form, am I saying that this is, my views. This presentation does not reflect the views of Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey. All right, sir. No, I'm kidding, right? Or Seven Hills, sorry. It's comedy, right? Right, Sonny, right? Right? He's so funny. All right, so, right? So let's see if we can find this, and we'll do this on our way out. Guys, I usually like playing the classical music, right? However, let's see if I can find it. Let's see, where is it? Goodness gracious, what can I find? I gotta find it. Okay. All right, I got it. Okay, all right, I got it. Okay, all right. Okay, I got it. All right. Okay. Please stop.
Department.
That's Kevin Hart was like, okay, all right, okay, I got it. All right, okay. All right, so I think it's James Davis, right? Hood adjacent with James Davis, the track cover for the national anthem, right? just because it's funny, right? We're gonna do that. So let me stop the screen share, right? Of Alabama, right? That's a picture of Alabama, right? Alabama State Republic, right? Isn't that what that is? Isn't that a picture of the Alabama State Republic on that chart?
Indeed.
Right? Because Egypt is ancient
Alabama.
Egypt.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Called Alabama.
Or fleshly thinking. A
Right.
place of fleshly thinking. Metaphysics.
Alabama. Right? All right. Anyway.
Ibamu.
Right. Alabama.
It means
Alibamu. Ali.
Yeah, that's the ancient. Alibamu, ALIBAMU.
Or Ali Bay Moor. What are you doing?
Like the thicketers. I looked it up. It's like it means the thicketers. The thicket, like something like that.
Yeah.
If the South was just like for the whole slavery quote unquote thing, we were like industrious as far as I guess that type of material. I guess how like our Southwestern brothers or Manchurian brothers made silk or whatever. I guess we did that down here. I'm not sure. How was the trade? We used to trade with each other, I guess, on a global level or continental level.
Islam.
Or the shucking and driving.
You're hilarious.
I wonder who started that. I wonder who started selling the silk and stuff for like
Attracting new customers has been tricky.
So we claimed our free business profile on Google.
Yeah, now we can accept bookings, list our products,
we don't
even
care.
post
It'd be cute
updates.
now.
Our free business profile helps us stand out and connect with customers on Google.
I was talking about the advertising, but what were you saying, Brother Benjamin?
I was wondering who not one of us, but who started putting like basically salt in the game of commerce, according to us, like, China, quote unquote, didn't have silk. They started making silk here, but that's not what we did here. So it was like trying to take out of our own mouths by like, trying to make it here when we already had a system,
Islam.
Like if that was a thing. Kind of like bootlegging someone's CD nowadays. Drop a mixtape, like, hey, that's not copyrighted. Like, where'd you get that from? But it's like you're taking food out of our mouths. We're the same people,
Islam.
This sunlight got me over here on the 9th level of the Celestine prophecy. Down.
But I yield on that.
Islam. All right, we're gonna close on out with the trap cover for the national anthem, because it's fun and we like having fun and laughing. And this is in the spirit of just enjoying the fact that we are graced with the presence of President Horary Bey, right?
That is
we are the Mufti, right? That sounds like a super cool rock band.
Yeah,
President Horary Bey and the Mufti. Like, oh, yo, let's go to that concert, bro.
That is as always. And that's my Horary Bey right there.
I'd say Brother Jag got the guitar. Let's see, Brother Core, I guess, would be on the mic. I guess I'd be breakdancing and Brother Benjamin be like, yeah, DJing.
Go to breakdancing. Like, I don't have it's to go to breakdance.
We're gonna no. All you know, I know, Brother Benjamin's not a DJ, but he would be the perfect Eric B. Hey, all we would have to do is just have him stand there and put his fingers on the records as if we should believe he's. Let me stop. I'm kidding. No, people just did. That used to be one of those old things back in the day. It's just like Eric B was not spinning those records, bro. He was not spinning those records.
Also, Eric B. I was like, Eric B. You like Eric B? He was like, Eric B. I'm like, are you still down? You still
Eric B. is the Milli Vanilli of DJs.
Oh my God.
I'm serious.
Yeah,
I'm not lying. Go back and look at those Eric B. and Rakim videos. He's not scratching those records. He's not playing it. He got away with it. You guys let it happen. You guys let Eric B. get away with spin syncing. Is that what it would be called? Because lip syncing is with the lips. So spinning records would be spin syncing, right? So it looks like he knows how to use the purple crayon, but he doesn't. And it's no disrespect. I'm pretty sure he was the financier.
So he just Benjamin Franklin us.
I'm just saying. I mean, unless someone disagrees, someone has some information that I'm not privy to.
Dang.
I'm just saying, I got it made. Okay, anyway, here we go. What I'm saying, we're going to go out on that, man, because it's funny like that, right? Right?
E-commerce is booming. And now every business...
Baraka Flocka Flame. Should I go out on Baraka Flocka Flame with the comedy, or that'd be too hard? What you say, Brother Corey? Brother Corey is Kermit the Frog in the black hoodie.
I like that one better. I like that.
What, Baraka Flocka Flame?
Yeah.
You like Baraka Flocka Flame better? Okay. We gotta listen to the head of the state. Hey, if you guys hear the word nigger, we don't mean copper tone people. We tell the truth here. We know that niggers are pale skin, and we're not being mean. We know that real black people are pale skin, falsely called white people. So be not offended by this next presentation, and then we're gone.
Yeah.
Oh snap!
Oh, this the one right here. This the one right here.
I'm the head of the motherfucking state. Remember?
Yeah. Or
Yo, let's have some fun. But on the real, shout out to Brother Cujo, man. I ain't shit, y'all, man. Grab your hands on that. Put your hands on that, all right? You got more to come too.
I'm the head of the motherfucking state, nigga. I brought you change, nigga. What the fuck you thinking, nigga? I won't die, I'm the shit, that's what Michelle say. Secret Service, but I got my own SK. See, Hillary, that's my motherfucking nigga. I hang in DC with them Senate House killers. Baraka Flocka Flame, one hood ass nigga. In the 6'4", bending corners, my nigga. Got a main bitch, got a mistress, a couple daughters, I'm so hood rich. My staff go hard, we be smoking. I pass bills free.
There's somebody judging the hell out of us right now. Is he holding his daughter while Baraka Flocka Flame is playing? Look, I want to tell you something. We are comedically honest around here, and I would much rather, Soria to learn from us so that we can make fun of it, so she'll know how to embrace it, so she doesn't believe that that's life when she gets older. Seriously, let's have some fun.
Shorty, no joking. Hey, what I stand for. Change, nigga.
Whoever did casting for this, though, was amazing.
Die for this country, man, I swear to God. In the trap with some killers and some hood niggas. Where you at? Where's your trap? You ain't hood, nigga. Keep this shit 300, put that shit on my hood. Crips fucking with me, G's in the vice lords. Essays in the Miko freestyle off the dome. President Baraka Flocka Flame, it's fucking on. I'm the head of the motherfucking state, nigga. Bringing change, nigga. What the fuck you thinking, nigga? I won't die for this shit no matter what they say. Secret Service, but I got my own SK. See, Oprah, that's my motherfucking nigga. We hang in the shower with them hit squad killers. Oprah Flocka Flame, one hood ass nigga. Riding real slow, bending corners, my nigga. What's up, prissy nigga? What's up, punk nigga? I got on that nigga, make your mama's mama get you. Hope you got your killers with you. Hope you got your niggas with you.
I see why Ben Baby said, you know what? I gotta make a sacrifice. I did. They're out of order. They're just out of order. I know. I'm the astrologer, the metaphysician. Like, guys, I'm playing this on purpose so you guys can really comprehend why we were enslaved. I'm serious. We're laughing at this, and I am doing the laughing. But if you can really learn, like, there's no evil planet, so there's no evil depiction really that I'm showing, provided you don't have a profane mind. And if you're really looking and paying attention here, this is a depiction of a modern European son, because his mother's modern European, right? And they're depicting the quote unquote first lady who's a Moabite. So the science in that is the Moabite mother absorbing her Albion son. If you can really look past the Negro antics of it all, right? Then on top of that, the reason why the position of a lot of people are in the said quote unquote hoods are because they are not remembering who they were in the past. And some of them that are suffering in the hoods are those that were probably dictators in the past. And those that have a better lifestyle or may seem like they're not having it hard this lifetime or whatever, maybe were those that were under the dictatorship are those that now fill up the projects. And I'm not saying that people deserve certain things. I'm saying this is the karma that people have brought on themselves.
Yeah.
And the reason why Ben Bey or Emmanuel Ben Bey Muali approved the undertaking of our Albion sons and daughters that we violated through taxation and violated our own $1.04 system, right? Which reflects, the laws of nature. So then we had to be subjected to what we subjected the Albion to because they were the first slave. Then we were enslaved by those slaves that we had made because it was all out of harmony. And now their coronavirus, quote unquote.
Islam, bro.
Islam.
Bro. We're not Slavic. So we were held in servitude, prisoners of war.
I said enslaved. we were enslaved. Is that no?
I heard slave, but
Yeah, I said they were the slaves. The Albion, they were the slaves, and we were enslaved by the slave.
Islam.
Yeah, Islam. Yeah, no, but I appreciate the correction though at all costs. That's what we're to do. We're our brother's keeper, right? Yeah. However, no, I appreciate the correction, but maybe I ran my words together, so I will enunciate. So no, we were enslaved, right? We were forced into a servitude due to our own misappropriations. All right. And it takes one to really go through the experience with studying and really seeing how you can experience what you're studying. Meet Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his literature. Why do people in certain, organizations pertaining to Moor Science Temple of America violate Act 3 and then tell you, because it's a violation nonetheless, and we are that well studied, that, oh no, stay away from seeing Bay, and we don't get into that astrology. Well, how can you not get into astrology when your chapter 1 lets you know that the solar stations is what guide us? And solar stations is summer and winter. Summer solstice. Summer sol is sun, stis stands. So the sun stands here during the summer and the sun stands here during the winter. That's a solstice, which is a sun stance. It's like the sun's posing. It's like, hey, yo, you know what I'm saying? Around this time, I'm just gonna be here chilling. You know what I mean? That's really what it is, right? So with that being said, and I'm gonna yield on that. You guys can catch the rest of Baraka Flock Flame on your own if you like. And, I do take daring things, and I do things like this on our platforms that we already know that there could be self-righteous people that wear turbans and fezzes that are ready to say how we don't have the authority to do certain things. When really at the end of the day, we're clear on what we can do because we are free-born Master Masons and Eastern Stars and can't be made over again. So we don't need your lodge. My brothers don't even need the certification that I developed. That's just something that we all agreed upon as, hey, this is our protocol. This is how we get down. And this is what we're going to certify amongst ourselves.
It's a hypnosis tool. Abracadabra.
Yeah, because because Thoth, Hermes Trismegistus, Hermes thrice great. When you think properly and in harmony, you know what I mean, being pure heart, being sincere intent, being love and honor, then you say what goes. That's what I mean by dismissing cases. You see what I'm saying? It's not, oh, well, what if they try to come and lock you up? Well, if I don't know, are you really good at Wing Chun? Can you take on 3 people at once if they provide that? I mean, because that's where you're really going with it in your thinking. It's because, a lot of times when people approach us, like in the spirit of how Brother Benjamin started, really what people are just going down to is at the end of the day, what are you going to do when they gang up on you? And it's like everybody wants, but again, these are coming from the mindsets pertaining to profane thinkers. Those that have abandoned the platform. In the past,
we go out on that. We should go out on that song.
Exactly. Let me get that up. And then right after that's over, I'll hit the end button. Seriously. Oh, matter of fact, though, everybody stay on though. I'll end the feed, but everybody stay on. I want to talk about our meeting yesterday. So everybody stay on after I hit the end on the feed. All righty. So here you go. All right.
This is a DJ 37.
Shout out to Brother R and Brother Solomon.
I'm making a point to you.
Shout out to Brother Todd. You will watch the class in a few hours.
Because people who don't understand this disagree. It's because they don't understand. But they don't understand because they have not been enforcing the Constitution. They have not been studying civics. And people who know it haven't been telling them. See, they would rather have you pay them to have meetings to sit around and discuss Negro problems. What do we do to fix this thing? All the economic and political problems. Constitution and treaty. Yeah, but what we want to do is have a meeting and talk about economic security. That's Article 1, Section 10. Yeah, but that's that Moor stuff. What we want to do is have a meeting and talk about the racism and the prejudice that's taking our sandwiches. The Constitution is very long. Yeah, but we ain't into that. But what we want, this is what our problem is. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Sir. We keep abandoning the platform. We keep abandoning the platform that was put before you were born. We keep abandoning the platform. We keep abandoning the platform. Abandoning the platform. We keep abandoning the platform. We keep abandoning the platform that was put before you were born. We keep abandoning the platform. We keep abandoning the platform. Abandoning the platform.
Back on that foundation, my mom stationed, my mind's racing, my mellow, my man patient, pacing, arm, leg, arm, head, said they hating, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice will slay them in they lower demons, proof is in the pudding and you shouldn't claim to be doing that shit you couldn't, if you playing then we banging, for this birthright, my brothers upright and fearless, these fuckers clutch they purse tight, I am standing on my square right here, spitting verbal cemeteries right here, double-edged swords cutting heads, steady that course back on the proper platform. Before mom and dad drawn, sworn on my path gone. On another level, circle 7 shalom. There is no Quran if you do not call upon, invoke or pour the Quran.
We keep abandoning the platform that was put before you were born. We keep abandoning the platform. We keep abandoning the platform. Abandoning the platform. We keep abandoning the platform. We keep abandoning the platform that was put before you were born. We keep abandoning the platform. Abandoning the platform.
Before you were born in sin, they were already sworn in. You was probably holding a beautiful soul in control of your own thinking, but now you get no sympathy. Let's analyze how this could be not history but mystery. Swap the E for an O, rock to the beat like so. Shouts out to the maestro, 37 boxes, whoa. Taj on the hook like yo, you abandoned the platform, so get back to the constitutional fold. It's clear you slacking though. Don't trip, I'm packing, bro. First thing is status, go into that Black's Law 4th edition. Don't be mad, I know. If you don't learn, then what you gonna do? And if you moving backwards, then where you running to? They made it cool to be stupid, but it ain't cool when you're useless. The nation needs you to move it. They got our people in nooses. If you abandon, you're ruthless. You better learn how to act more. The problem is we keep abandoning the platform.
We keep abandoning the platform that was put before you were born. We keep abandoning the platform. We keep abandoning the platform. Abandoning the platform. We keep abandoning the platform. We keep abandoning the platform that was put before you were born. We keep abandoning the platform. We keep abandoning the platform. Abandoning the platform. We keep abandoning the platform. We keep abandoning the platform that was put before you were born. We keep abandoning the platform. We keep abandoning the platform. Abandoning the platform. We keep abandoning the platform. We keep abandoning the platform that was put before you were born. We keep abandoning the platform. We keep abandoning the platform. Abandoning the platform. We keep abandoning the platform that was put before you were born to cure your problems in government, and we keep doing everything else. Excuse me. See this one second. We keep abandoning the platform.
Yeah! Come along and study with me, my friends!
And with that, we yield the floor, y'all. We love you. It's fine. It's on the ball.